The following is an introduction talk on the topic Pain Transformed by the meditation teacher Mr. Wayne Champa. This course, Pain Transformed, will cover the clarification of many aspects of pain and the plan that leads to the transformation of pain. It will include taming, training, and transforming the pain. Mr. Wayne Champa has over 50 years of experience in the area. Mr. Wayne Champa has many examples of strong determination in transforming pain, including a 1 hour and 45-minute dentist visit where Wayne had a cap over his molar removed, and the dentist also drilled out a filling that was decayed under this molar cap, nearly performing a root canal, with no numbing. This procedure was extremely painful, and Mr. Wayne Champa did this with little to no suffering and very little problem. I am now proud to bring you Mr. Wayne Champa.
Hello, welcome. Transforming pain. This is now the step-by-step procedure video course on how to become skillful with pain so you no longer suffer. This is the course. It is an advanced course. And congratulations for listening to the first video that I made on introduction to pain, and now we'll learn the details of what you can do to become skillful with pain so that pain doesn't inhibit you, doesn't stop you, doesn't control you, doesn't have any holdbacks for you, so you can be unstoppable. So your life can be free from the suffering of pain. How do you do that? So, is pain a problem? Yes. So you want to avoid pain in every way you possibly can. You don't want pain, okay? So do you want a life without pain? No. That is called CIPA, congenital sensitivity to pain and anhidrosis. So you don't want that. That's a horrible disease, CIPA, congenital insensitivity to pain and anhidrosis. That's a terrible disease where I'll show you some pictures here. You have no sensitivity to pain. You can put your hand on the stove and you never feel the ouch of the heat. You can cut or break your arm and you never feel the ouch part of it. You feel the pressure, but not the ouch. So this horrible disease are people that live with no ouch pain. Then when they're children, they have to wear helmets. It's a terrible disease. So you want to live a life where you can avoid pain. You don't want pain, but you don't want a life where there is no pain. So what's the solution? Is having a life where you have ability to be skillful with pain so pain doesn't cause you to suffer. And I'm going to explain exactly what all of that means, define pain, suffering, to the extremes. So this will be a mind-blowing, tantalizing explanation that allow you to live a whole new life in regards to your life, so that pain will become what it's really meant to be, is your bodyguard. So my background, I have a lot of experience, which I'll show here. I have over 50 years of meditation. I've done many retreats and on, as you can probably see here. So I have also experienced extreme pain in my life with these specific trainings that I'm going to be presenting to you. And I've had, even though it's extreme pain, I've had no suffering. So one of my stories is I had a very painful tooth, a molar, that was infected, and the cap over the molar needed to be replaced. Now, when I go to the dentist, I don't use any Novocaine, no numbing whatsoever. I do it intentionally to do strong determination experimental opportunities so that when I'm at the dentist, it's a safe place. So the dentist had to remove the cap, and I'll do a little example here of how he does that. And I did this again with no numbing whatsoever. So if this is your tooth, you got a cap that goes over your tooth. The first thing that the dentist has to do is he has to get the gum, if this shirt is like the example of a gum, he has to get that gum away from the root so that when he drills, he doesn't damage the gum. So he takes, I call it a knife, he calls it a tool, and he has to take the knife and separate the gum from the tooth. So he has to push the gum away from the actual root of the tooth. Then he takes a little bit of a thread, a string, and he puts it all around the gum to hold and continue to keep the gum away from the root. Painful, extreme pain, sharp, cutting, ouch, difficult pain, unbelievable pain, cutting. Did I say cutting? Yes, cutting. And then he has to get the cap off. So in order to get the cap off, he has to cut the cap into 4 sections. Now, this is an example of a drill. If you ever had a drill in one place, the pain is excruciating. But he has to take this drill and he has to cut in 4 sections the cap. So he cuts the cap all the way this way and all the way this way so that it's completely broken into 4 sections. The pain of him drilling and cutting the tooth completely was stinging, burning, electrical, unbelievable, painful. If you could imagine a sting bite of a bee, but this was like 5 bumblebees stings continuously for quite a while. The whole procedure took 1 hour and 45 minutes. So after he's finished cutting it in 4 sections, he grabs each section and rips it off. Unbelievable pain. The last section, my head was really jerking. So then he said to me the words you never want to hear. He said, "Oh no." And I looked up and said, "What do you mean?" And he says, "We got a problem." And I said, what? And he was like, "Oh man, we have to numb you up because there's a filling underneath your cap filling, and he has to drill out the filling, and there's decay, so he has to drill out the decay, and there's probably going to be a root canal needed, so I have to numb you." And I had to really fight with him for a long time. No, I'm going to continue with no numbing. And so he did the whole procedure. When he drilled out the filling and the decay, the tooth was painful in the very beginning, but can you imagine the stinging, the burning, the electrical, the sharpness, the 5 bumblebee stings with extreme pain. And then at the end where he has to blow out anything that's left in there, that air was tantalizing with, it seemed like it had shards of glass in it. Then you put the substance that is an antibacterial, antivirus, alcohol, unbelievable pain, and then they closed the whole thing up. Now, it was extreme pain, stinging, burning, but the whole process, I had no problem. Now, what am I talking about? There was no suffering, no problem, no pushing it away, no internal mental thinking that this is bad, I don't like it, I don't want it, oh no. And then I even had a thought that came up that I was irrelevant, that I'm going to die, because people die, I've heard, from pain. So that was my procedure, and I've gone many times to the dentist, and I always do it with no numbing. So how do you do that? Now, this is what we're going to learn, how to do those types of processes or strong determination, experimental opportunities, because you're going to be having pain throughout your life for sure. So how to do that so that your pain is not a problem. So the Buddha taught, as long as there is attachment to the pleasant and aversion to the unpleasant, liberation is impossible. So in the Buddha teaching, there is actually 2 schools that teach about pain, which I've studied and participated in, the Lojong and the Tonglen. You can look those up, and those are excellent trainings on how to become skillful with pain so that you don't have a problem, so you don't suffer. So physical pain. This now is a step-by-step guided plan on how to become skillful so that pain guides you, helps you, you can befriend pain, and it is then therefore your bodyguard, which is meant to be. Okay, so pain will not control you and not limit you, and not inhibit you. So you can be unstoppable. You can be fantastic, tantalizing, and tremendous. Okay? So we need to define suffering. What is suffering? I'll read this to you, and you can read it on the screen. Suffering is the conscious endurance of pain, distress, or hardship. It generally involves an unpleasant physical sensation or emotional state that threatens a person's well-being or sense of meaning. Pain is an immediate sensory signal. Suffering is the emotional and mental interpretation of that pain. So I'll repeat that. Suffering is the emotional and mental interpretation of that pain, or you can even say sensation. So suffering is the interpretation. Pain is a sensation. So there's 2 things. There's sensation, and then there's thoughts, or the interpretation of the sensation. So we'll get into that much more as we proceed here. So there's 3 steps. The 3 steps to becoming skillful with pain is taming the pain, training the pain, and transforming the pain. And we're going to go into each with details. So first I have to give a disclaimer that I have no responsibility for your actions, or you are completely responsible for anything that you do and all of your actions. So the first step is taming the pain. So the best way to tame the pain is to completely and thoroughly, clearly understand what pain actually is, to really understand it. Then when you can break it down to its components and understand it, then pain doesn't become something that you fear and don't know. Pain is something that is clear to you, what it actually is. So, okay. There are 2 elements to pain. There are actually, as we described, the sensations and thoughts. Actually, you want to get rid of the word pain. Pain, what does it mean? Pain connotates, don't like it, I don't want it, it's bad, it's wrong, pushing it away, no. So let's not talk about pain. Let's not have the word pain. Let's talk about sensation and or thought, okay? Because that's what makes up so-called pain, is a sensation or a thought, okay? So what is a sensation? Okay, physical sensation is a physical feeling or perception resulting from something that happens to or comes into contact with the body. And there is a limited amount of actual sensations. There is pressure, cold, hot, sharp, cut, stinging, electrical, tingling, aching. And if you go to ChatGPT, which I'll show you here, there's more. But truly, there's only a few. There's only a limited amount of physical sensations, which is pressure, cold, hot, sharp, cut, stinging, kind of electrical, and that's it. So there's only those types of sensations. So not do not think that there's unlimited different types of pains. No, there's only a few. So that's good to know. So there's a better understanding and clarification. So I'll read to you more details of what the clarification of physical pain is. It is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with actual or potential tissue damage. It's the body's way of signaling that something may be wrong, acting as a warning system to protect us from harm. How pain works. When a part of the body is injured, specialized sensor receptors called nociceptors send electrical signals through the nerves to the spinal cord and then to the brain. The brain interprets these signals as pain, assessing the threat level based on various inputs, including sensory information, past experiences, emotions, beliefs, and the environment. If the brain perceives danger, it amplifies these signals, leading to heightened sensitivity and potentially more intense pain. Basically, the brain receives all of these inputs and then makes a decision what to do. How dangerous is it? Is this really harmful? Is it going to kill me? Or what I should do intellectually. Although the brain can perceive a signal that is the hand is hurting, even if you have the arm cut off. That's called a phantom pain. So how can that be where the pain actually comes from a part of the body that is no longer a part of the body? What happens is there's portions of the brain that are activated, and we know this through PET scans and fMRI scans, where the active part of the brain has signaling even for that specific part of the body, like the hand, even though the arm and the hand is cut off. So the brain can actually create and make pain even though there is no pain or sensation coming to it. So that's an interesting perspective. And I mentioned nociceptors. So you'll read here what a nociceptor is. Are specialized sensors, neurons, free nerve endings, responsible for detecting actual or potential tissue damaging stimuli. Found in the skin, muscles, joints, and organs, they send possible threat signals to the spinal cord and to the brain. The brain then perceives these signals to create a conscious sensation of pain. And these are called nociceptors. These are the actual nerve endings. So that's what happens with phantom pain. The first part of this course is extremely important so that we can clarify and know pain sensations clearly and understand them thoroughly so that the level of fear, anxiety, the amount of resistance is lowered or gone. So one of the things that we do well in the United States, pharma, the medical industry, is now we have a 10-level identification of pain. So you'll see on the screen this level of pain. It goes from no pain, mild pain, okay kind of pain, tolerating distressed pain, more distressed, intense pain, very intense, unbelievable, and then maximum pain. So there's 10 actual levels of pain. Although there should be 11. The final level of pain, what happens if you get to the point where you have absolutely the maximum amount of pain and you can't take anymore, and it is unbelievable. You can't talk, you can't think, your vision is closing down. The next level of actually what happens, which is very important to understand so that you have less fear of pain, the next level is that you just go unconscious. So you have all of the levels of pain, including now the 11th level, which is going unconscious. So what's the worst thing that can happen when you have pain or super huge amount of sensation? Is that your body shuts down. That's a self-defense mechanism, a protection mechanism, and you actually just go unconscious. So that's not so bad. You don't die. There has been reports of people dying from pain, but really can't tell, and I doubt it, because we can't bring the people back from death and say what happened, you know. So you go unconscious. That's what actually happens. So that's good to know. So if you're having extreme pain and you're so afraid that you're going to die, the clarity is very worthwhile to know you're not going to die. You're going to go unconscious. You're going to fall asleep. You're going to blank out. So when I was in the dentist chair with my process that I shared with you, I got to the point where my vision was closing down, shrinking down. My body was shaken severely. I was in the most extreme pain. And at that point, I knew that if it got worse, possibly, I would just go unconscious. The dentist hopefully would be able to wake me up and revive me, and I'd go to the hospital if I needed to, and resuscitate me. So the nice thing to know is that there is a level of security with this. So you go through the whole levels of pain, and the worst possible scenario is unconsciousness. That's extremely useful to know, okay? Actually, I share with you too the volume control of all of the things that are in this program to help you with pain. This is significant, okay? This is the key. So keep this as a mental picture in your mind. It's actually the volume control knob on pain and suffering. So what is the volume control knob on pain and suffering? So if you have the amount of sensation coming in, the greater equanimity is less suffering. So whatever the sensation is coming in, the greater the resistance, you have more suffering, more pain. So the more that you resist, the more pain will be there. Pain being the pushing away, oh no, I don't like it, I don't want it. Okay? The sensation will be what it is. It's just sensation. The pain, which is the ouch, the oh no, the thoughts, the resistance to it, the tension and the holding on and the pushing away, all of that, if you reduce that down and open up to it, like in the program that I'll share with you in the next section, you open up and say the opposite of what you're thinking. You say yes to it. You allow it. You experience it in a opposite way that you're normally used to. So when a sensation comes in, if you call it pain, I don't want it, I don't like it, that's all the negative thoughts. It's going to have more resistance. You'll have more sensory discomfort, more problem. If you have the senses, the sensory signal coming in, and you open up to it, and you allow it, and you say yes to it, the amount of resistance, the amount of discomfort, the amount of suffering, the amount of mental thoughts of no, I don't like it, all of that is lowered down. You won't have the suffering. You'll have the sensation. Okay, the sensation will be there. The sensation is the sensation. But The suffering, which is the pushing away the resistance, that's going down. So the volume control knob on suffering is either resistance or equanimity. Okay? Equanimity or resistance. The more equanimity you'll have, the less of a problem. The more resistance you have, the more of a problem. In other words, if you have just the slightest amount of sensory signal coming in and your resistance is real high, what's going to happen? You're going to have a huge suffering. You can even faint. There are people who will get a shot and they're so afraid, they have so much resistance, they actually faint. Talk to the people that are giving you shots and you ask them, has anybody ever fainted? And they'll tell you, oh yeah. Just a tiny little sensory signal, sharp sensation, but there's so much resistance that their mind just closes down and shuts off. The opposite is true. You can have somebody who is unique enough to go through a huge amount of pain, like a dentist cap removal and drilling, and have unbelievable amount of sensory input, but the resistance is low, and therefore the suffering is minimal or none. So that is the control knob on sensation and pain and suffering. Now the next section will be, here we go. This is not a video on thoughts. I will make, if you want, a video on what a thought is, which is a whole nother video and training. But this is not a educational training on what actually a thought is. So let me know if you want that. But we have to discover and discuss a little bit about what thoughts are, because a major part of that is thoughts, is the resistance, the thinking. I don't like it, I don't want it, I'm going to die, oh my gosh, what's happening? So, so what is a thought? Just basically for the clarity a little bit on being able to work with them. So thoughts are words, sentences, language, stories, discussions in the brain, okay? And intellectual, conceptual ideas, that's what a thought is. So I'll give you an analogy. Let's say there's a stream of water, and those are all continuous you going in. You are the stream of water, okay? And let's say a thought comes up, which is a bubble. So the bubble goes along with the stream of water. This is the most common way of explaining thoughts in mindfulness. So there's a stream of water, which is you. A thought comes up, which is a bubble in the stream, which goes along. And then you can get to the point when you're meditating that you can become aware of your thinking. So you are watching your thoughts. So the analogy is that you go on the edge of the stream and you're watching the bubbles go by, okay? So that's the next step. There's a stream of water, then you're sitting on the bank of the stream watching the bubbles go by, and that's the next step. And then the third step is where you are the bubble. You look at the bubble and you see the bubble, you understand it's a thought, so you're looking at the bubbles going by. There's still dualism in that scenario. There's still you and the bubble, you and the thought, okay? Fourth step is where you go further and you see what is in that bubble, and you look clearly, it's just air. It's really nothing. They come and they go. The bubbles appear and they burst and they are gone. They come, they burst, and they're gone. They just continuously move like that. So what is that thought? What is that bubble? That's just a continuous process of thinking, which is basically a tool. So is there a you watching the bubble, or is there just bubbling? Just the experiences, just the experience. And you get to the point where on the fifth level, there's a true nature of just the experience of all of that happening. The bubbles, the stream, it's just a continuous process of here and now, just the moment's activity. It's just this now, bubbles and streams and just all of it. So it's only a sensory experience, only a thought experience. It is just a happening now. Okay? So you're not thinking about the bubbles. You're not thinking about the sensations. You're not thinking. It's just thoughts. Just this. Just the experience. Not dualism. And that's a level that you can get to. And this training with pain allows you to reach that level with the strong determination experimental opportunities that I'll be sharing with you on how to allow yourself to have these experiences to the point where all there is just a sensation. There's not a you sensing it. It is just sensation as it is. And you open up and you say yes to that sensation. And if there's thoughts, you say, open up and say yes, there's thoughts. The same as a sensation comes and goes, the same thought come and go. That's just the way that is. Okay? If you want, I'll make another video that is a complete detail video on thoughts and emotions. So that would be another whole video. I'd be very willing and eager to do that. So thought is the only thing that keeps you from experiencing the complete moment. If you get to the point where you say, okay, this is it, and now I am not thinking and I got it, that is just another thought, and do not cling to it, as it is only a thought and not the experience. Maybe that helps to clarify how this whole process works. So, what you expect to feel has a huge impact on what you actually feel. Shot in the arm is a good example. If you expect and are anticipating that it is going to be horrible, you could even get to the point where you're screaming and you could faint. If you have a shot in the arm and you are clear about the specific details of what a painful sensation is, what the nociceptors and how the brain interprets those, you can say that that is just going to be a sharp sensation, have no resistance, and it is all, the only thing it is a sharp sensation. And you have no suffering, no problem whatsoever. You can also get to the point where you do this for the most extreme, where you have the most extreme, like in the dentist chair that I shared with you, and you expect that this is just going to be sensation, and that's it. And it's going to be a big sensation or a small sensation, and you open up to it and you say yes, the amount of suffering that you'll have is minimal or zero. And the worst thing that can happen to you is that you can go unconscious. Okay? So let thoughts run in the background, not to control you, not to be powerful, not to be feared, not to be intimidating or to limit you. Allow them to be in the background, and when they come up, say yes to them. Thoughts are very useful. They can be helpful to determine the threat levels, and as I've said many times, make sure that your plan is very well thought out so there will be absolutely no damage. And change the word pain to sensation. So no longer be using the word pain. You'll be using it as a sensation. That's most important as well. So fear. What is fear? Fear is an emotional response to a perceived threat, danger, or harm. It is a natural survival mechanism that perceives the body to react. Often, the fight, flight, or freeze response. Fear can be physical, psychological, and real or perceived. Fear is the volume control on the pain level. In other words, fear, the more fear you have, the higher the level of resistance, and therefore the higher level of ouch and discomfort and problem that you'll have. So the next step, which we're going to go into, is training the pain. How do you train the pain? These I call strong determination experimental sensory opportunities. SDESO, strong determination experimental sensory opportunities. These are experiences that you can set up that allow you to have sensory incoming signals, pain, in a way that allows you to be safe, which is most important, no damage, no injury, and allow you to train these signals coming in, these sensations, so that the level of suffering, the level of ouch, the level of resistance, the level of oh no, the level of discomfort is minimum or none. So how do you do that? So the first and most important thing is that you construct the perfect opportunity, something that will be absolutely safe so there won't be any damage to your body. Putting your hand in very cold water, maybe as an example. It really hurts at first, although you can allow that pain, you can be free from the suffering and train and train and train. And you can put your whole body in water, cold water or hot water, but make sure that it's a temperature where you're not going to be damaged. You can go to the level of going to the dentist and having extreme processes that are going to be safe for you because you have a dentist there to allow you to survive. The amount of numbing in your mouth is not going to change what the dentist is going to do to you. So it's either you have the sensation or you don't have the sensation. The actual process of what he's going to do will be the same. So it's safe. And that's really an excellent way I found to have these strong determination experimental opportunities. In other words, anytime you get a shot, that's a really good opportunity. Anytime it's cold, anytime it's hot, anytime that you're sick, anytime throughout the day, those experiences of pain can be strong determination experimental opportunities where you can see how much of this pain am I actually resisting? Or can I experience this pain with more equanimity and then allow yourself to apply these techniques and become more and more skillful with pain. Now, when you do these techniques, these strong determination experimental opportunities, make sure that you must commit to the plan. Okay, make sure that the plan is absolutely well thought out and that you're not going to have any failure. Because my example, when I went to the dentist, there were times where I wanted to quit, or I had some thoughts that came up that this is beyond what I ever thought it was going to be, and then your mind comes up with the thoughts, I'm going to die. All of those are natural, normal thoughts your mind can produce to protect you. You can put those in the category of irrelevant thoughts, because those are your mind's way of trying to stop you. And that's what the mind is supposed to do, is try to help you and stop you from any kind of damage. But you can go beyond that and say to it, that put those in the background and say yes to those thoughts even, okay? So you must make sure that the plan that you have organized is absolutely, thoroughly safe. And then when you have the strong determination experimental opportunities, you focus on each sensation completely, each one saying yes to it. It's real hot, yes. It's real cold, yes. It's a super pressure, yes. It is very light, tingling, fluffy pressure, okay, yes. Whatever the sensation is, the answer is yes. And you feel it completely and allow it, open up to it. The best advice in these strong determination experimental opportunities is to say the word yes. It connotates okay, it makes the flavor of the sensation acceptable, and it'll allow you to push through it. The ultimate level of what this actually can do for you is help you to discover what the ego is, what the self is, what thoughts are, why I have thoughts, and how to become more ultimately, clearly knowledgeable about what you are, who you are, and to become free from the fear, inhibitions, and any of the things that stop you. One of the most wonderful parts of this is to becoming ultimately clear of what the ego is, what the self is, what self-conceptual ideas are, and the beauty to awaken to life as it is and to experience the moment more completely and thoroughly, no matter what the signals are, okay? You feel the sensations from within the sensations. They're just sensations, and you feel them as they are. You become free, liberated, live with ease, a experience of ultimate transformation. Okay, so the next level is transforming the pain. So physical sensations are not the problem. The problem is the resistance, the thoughts, the pushing away, the I don't like it, I don't want it. Sensations are sensations, thoughts are thoughts. Okay? So you can get to the point where you just experience the sensations as they are, just completely equanimity with sensations, and equanimity with thoughts. So what is equanimity? One of the best explanations of equanimity that I've ever learned, that I'll share with you, is radical non-interference with the natural flow of sensory experience. I'll repeat that. Radical non-interference with the natural flow of sensory experience. So whatever the sensory experience is, opening up, saying yes to it, allowing it. I don't like to say accepting it, because accepting it actually shows a way of encouraging it, of liking it, and we're not encouraging you to try to have more of the sensations. You're just allowing. So allowing is a good word or a good term, a good thought process on these sensations. Allow the sensations to be radical, non-interference with the natural flow of those sensations. Turn towards the sensations. Love the pain with equanimity. Or in other words, love the sensation with equanimity. And it's good to turn away or stop the word pain. Call it sensation, which it actually is. Or thought. That's another way to separate it out. It's a sensation or it's a thought. It's pain connotates that you're pushing it away, you don't like it, it's just wrong and bad. So from now on, think of it as sensation. Whatever the sensation you're going to have at the dentist office, or getting a shot, or going into the hot tub, or putting your hand in ice, or that you have a cold, or that you have a back pain, or that you have sickness, whatever. It's just a sensation, not pain. It's either stinging, burning, cold, sharp, pressure. See, there's only a few of those, as we discussed. It is actually an experience of here and now also. It more greatly brings you into that here and now, the moment, fully present, fully alive, fully awake, okay, when you're in these experiences. You can experience life then in a new way. It defines self, no self, more clearly. You can open up completely to space and awareness only, just this moment, okay, non-dualistic. So you become mindful of every moment, therefore, in life. This can bleed over into all of your moments of life so that each moment is more fully opened up to with equanimity and experience the beauty of each and every experience. Pain is not the enemy. Okay, pain is not something to be feared. Sensation is sensation, okay? It can be your teacher. Pain or sensation can be your bodyguard. Pain no longer controls you. It's no longer a limiting factor. It no longer inhibits you. You can have any kind of physical pain and prosper and go forward, even long-term pain. Okay, so summary. The most painful moment of my life was in the dentist chair. And I assure you that after that experience with the most extreme, difficult, painful, high level of sensory experience that I had, hour and 45 minutes, I have never been the same since. Pain does not limit me. I am not controlled by pain. I don't fear pain. I don't have limitations from pain. It allows me to live more fully, completely. I am much more unstoppable, and you can be unstoppable. It will be tremendous, fascinating to experience pain in a new way where your life will be mind-blowingly capable of doing things you never thought possible. It'll be tantalizing. It'll be rewarding, be rich in your ability to be skillful with pain so you don't suffer, and be able to do anything you want. So be unstoppable. I'll share what the Buddha has taught and one of his great sayings about this. Advanced skills, this is, okay? Form, these physical elements, form is not yours. Feelings are not yours. Perception is not yours. Volitional formations are not yours. Consciousness is not yours. Abandon them, and when you abandon what is not yours, that will lead you to welfare and happiness. How to accomplish this? You can do it through mindfulness, through Dzogchen, meditation, mindfulness meditation, sensory determination experiences that we shared. So, enjoy this. You can watch it over and over. If you would like, I would be very happy to make a same kind of a program on becoming skillful with not only physical pain, which we've done here, but emotional pain. So if you want me to make a program to describe how to become skillful so that you don't suffer from emotional pain, just let me know and I'll be happy to do that. I will make a video on thoughts if you want and on emotional pain. So thank you very much. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be healthy in body and mind. And may you be free and liberated and live with ease. From my heart, thank you.